Hello and welcome to episode 167 of Controller Club, the friendly face gaming space, a podcast where three friends from three continents share in one love, and that is video games. On today's show, we are going to be looking to the future, looking at the future of Xbox and what it holds, and dreaming up what would be our ideal first year of the next Xbox console. But before all that, my name is Klein, and alongside me today, as always, are two of my best friends in the whole wide gaming world. First, coming to us from across the pond, it is the digital art daredevil himself, Tom Drew. Tom, what's going on? How's life going?
Things are going good. It feels like I've woken up at 2:17 a.m. Exactly, and I've just honed in on Control Club. I'm ready. I'm diving in to talk about Xbox games. I'm obviously referring to weapons, but this isn't a movie podcast, so we're not going to delve too much into that. But anyway, yeah, just excited to talk about Xbox and some of the crazy ideas I'm sure we're all going to come up with for some of the kind of pitches ideas we have for the future of Xbox. But yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, if you're listening, here you go. These are all free ideas. All we ask is you just give us credit. We just want a special thanks at the end of whatever Halo 9 is when we get there. Next up, it is journalist extraordinaire, the Australian abroad, Canadian in training, wearing a nice Arcane shirt for the YouTube audiences here, Lauren Rouse. Lauren, what's up? How's it going?
Things are good. I didn't think of anything interesting to say. It's
Well,
pretty
glad
standard
you're on
for
a
me.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you have some interesting things to say about Xbox because that's what we're going to be doing here, diving into what we want to see game wise, hardware wise, everything from the next Xbox. A little while ago, a little over a year ago, we did this for the Nintendo Switch. Oh, how long ago it felt. We now have a Switch 2. It has happened. The first year is coming to fruition. That Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake that I pitched then and there. It's happening. It's gonna come along. We talked about 3D Mario. We talked about all sorts of things, but today we will be doing the Microsoft console. We will be talking about the next generation Xbox, which is supposedly coming in the next couple of years. This generation has gone by quite quickly. So let's dive into it. Let's build the next Xbox, the next Xbox's first year, software, hardware, things we'd like to see. I think we'll start this like we started with the Nintendo Switch conversation. And I just want to ask the two of you. I mean, we've gotten comments before. We are not the Xbox podcast. Lauren has an Xbox Series S. I have a PC. I've played Xbox games through that. Tom has never owned an Xbox in his life. So take what we're saying with a grain of salt. But I want to ask everyone here because we are observers of the industry. We love this medium. We love video games as a whole. Where is your head at in with Xbox right now? It's been a bit of a rough few years. Xbox Series X/S not necessarily selling as well as they would want it to. Rumor is that PS5 to Xbox Series is about 2-1. So not ideal. They've completely reversed course on how they do exclusives, how they conduct their business. You can now play Forza Horizon 5 on your PlayStation. You can now play Hi-Fi Rush. You can play Indiana Jones, all of these Xbox exclusive games. I wouldn't be surprised if Halo is coming, and obviously we have in just I think 8 days from now. Yeah, looking at the calendar, day of recording, Gears of War is going to be playable on a PlayStation console for the very first time. So, Tom, I want to ask you first, where is your head at here in 2025 towards the end of the Xbox Series generation with Xbox as a brand?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about Xbox a couple times on the show, just like different like news topics that have come through about their strategy, and I feel like we've always kind of come away like a little bit confused in terms of like where their head is at in terms of because if it in a way they kind of stray from the strategy sometimes, but they also have been very consistent in certain things. Like they've stayed true to Game Pass, that they still seem to be committing to that. I don't think they're gonna stop by any time soon. From the looks of it, but it just leaves me wondering, like, what is the next step? What can they do to like really make a move in the console space specifically? Because like you said, it was 2-1, like PS5, Xbox Series. Like that's it's not looking good for Microsoft. I mean, that a lot of that they've kind of like said like that's not, we want Xbox to be everywhere, which is where their whole strategy is of like putting games on Game Pass on PC and getting the Xbox ecosystem, like you can stream stuff to your phone now and that sort of stuff, and they're releasing handhelds. But I think like for me, I'm like, if they just release another box with like upscaled resolution, upscaled performance and power, I just don't know like what you can really do now, especially because they don't necessarily also have the games either, because they are just kind of like handing them out, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as a whole if they do it the right way. But I wonder long term, like if a lot of these strategies that they're doing are going to pay off. Um, so I'm worried for them, and I'm hoping, but some of the ideas that we have today, maybe they can listen to some of them. I doubt they will, but maybe they could take some on board and see and take them forward, and that could work out. But I think they're in a very precarious spot, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do next, because yeah, it's very interesting.
Lauren, what do you think about the future of Xbox? Do you think there's a way that they could reverse course and be kind of I mean, they're still a pillar of the industry, but be the giant that maybe they once were? Or is the idea of what an Xbox is kind of forever changed going forward?
Well, I just want to start by saying we do not necessarily have the answers for this. We are just mere fans of gaming. None of us are big Xbox heads. So really what we're doing today is just kind of either thinking what we think they should maybe do as fans or what we want to see. But this is not solicited advice, Xbox, unless you want to buy us, because then we could be on the table again. But yeah, I think looking at this most recent generation, it's just been full of, I think, definitely big changes for them as a company, and also kind of big swings. And I think, like we've talked about it multiple times in different episodes and pieces of news, but I think like the idea of the console wars is changing, and they're really part of the reason for that. Obviously, like Xbox is owned by Microsoft, which is also like a PC company. So those two things are ingrained from the get go, and I think will continue to be so. They've like leaned into the everything is an Xbox now. You can just get it all on Game Pass. And I will say, Game Pass is far more successful than PlayStation Plus. So they are definitely leading the way in that respect, and I think may continue to. It's just whether the model of Game Pass is sustainable for, paying the people behind the scenes. And obviously there's been like significant layoffs as well, which has been awful to see. So it's been interesting because we for a while there it was just like trading blows of this company now owns this studio and this company now owns this studio, and it's like, oh, we're seeing a divide with like what software is going to be on each console, but it hasn't really become that because now they're just like leasing out the games to PlayStation and PC and other companies, so it doesn't really matter as much. But I think moving forward, software is going to be king, or the brands and the IP are going to be king, because they're still the company taking in the earnings. Whether like Gears of War on PlayStation, they're still going to take a cut of that, even though it's on PlayStation. So I think it is going to be the brand names that are the most important, which is why it's great we're going to talk about the ones we want to see today.
Yeah, I think that I agree with everything that's been said so far. It's kind of a nebulous time for Xbox, at least from a hardware perspective. I think that something we have seen proven in this move to move off of console exclusivity and putting some of these games onto other platforms is that gamers want to play these games no matter where they are. So Forza is doing just as well as it would have done on Xbox on PlayStation. It's the Forza Horizon 5, a game that's a few years old now, is the biggest game of the year on PS5. And I think that for me is, sure, Xbox is probably going to release another box. Sarah Bond has indicated as such that this next generation is going to be the biggest technical leap in the history of Xbox consoles. Don't know what that means. Don't know what that actually looks like, but they've said it. But I do think, looking at what Xbox is doing, they are setting themselves up for the future where the console industry as a whole, I think, is going to change in the next, I don't know, decade, where it's going to be a lot more like PCs. You buy the box, you buy the thing you want sitting under your TV, whether that's a PlayStation, a Xbox. Nintendo's kind of doing its own thing over here, but then you get to play everything on it. And that to me is kind of sounds like a gamer's utopia. I know some people who have been fighting in the console wars for years and years and years will be very upset by that, but I don't see an issue with everyone's software being everywhere, and I think we've talked about that quite a bit here on the show. But I want to know, before we get to the games themselves, what do we actually want to see from the next box, the next Xbox era, the next actual thing you will be putting under your TV or not, whenever we get the Xbox Series Z, we'll call it, or what have you. Tom, is there anything that you're like specifically hoping, looking, wishing for in a new Xbox?
Well, I did have an idea just before we came on, and this is the bit that Microsoft's gonna want to listen to, right? So
Okay.
I think this is the big pitch. You're gonna call the next Xbox the Charlie Xbox CX, and it's gonna be a Charlie XCX focused Xbox.
The Brat
It's gonna
Box.
be the Brat Box. It's gonna be the Xbox 365 because it's code for Xbox 365 Party Girl, obviously. And you're gonna load it up, play games. You're gonna have a Charlie XCX avatar. Like anytime you're playing games,
It's gonna
just
be like
playing
that
as
lime green.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's perfect. I mean,
They
like
already
that's
have
what
the lime green integrated into their branding.
Yeah.
This is why it's perfect. This is why they need to do this yesterday. Maybe they should have done this like last summer because that was Brat Summer.
They can partner with Letterboxd because Box is in there.
Okay, yeah. And Charlie XCX is
Charlie
on
on Letterboxd. Yeah. It's all coming together.
It just works. It just works. No, and I mean, if they want to do that, I think that'd be fun. But no, I think, like I said, I think they need to do something completely different, and it's hard to even conceive of what that could be because like they're also saying that they're working on, they got the Xbox ROG Ally.
LAX.
Yeah, ROG Ally X, whatever it's called. But and that's like its own handheld, but they're also potentially working on another handheld, which seems like it's going to be separate from like this new box. So like I don't even know if like a hybrid console like makes sense if if they're already doing their own separate thing with the handheld. In my mind, like the biggest technical leap ever. That obviously like the first thing I think of is like just insane graphics, insane tech specifications and performance and power. But like I wonder if it would be kind of cool if it was like a handheld like a Switch 2, but just like completely just like maxed out, like the battery life's amazing, it performs really well. Like that, I think that would get me a lot more excited than just like the fidelity is like a little bit better. You can see this person's paws like a little bit better. So something like that, I think, would be what I would want from the next Xbox, but I don't think that's necessarily what we're gonna get.
I think that, Tom, you and me, same line of thinking right here. When Sarah Bond says the biggest technical leap that we've ever seen between console generations, I think, how can you possibly do that from a graphical standpoint, right? We have 4K TVs. There are 8K TVs out there. I know the PS4 had the 8K logo on the box or PS5 when you bought it back in 2020. They've since taken that off. 8K TVs are not anywhere near being like the standard, and I don't think they ever will be. 4K is so good, the fidelity is so amazing that I'm not sure games can actually like look that much better. So what do? You implement all of that amazing technology that you have in the Series X, and you make the most powerful hybrid console. You make the answer to the Switch, where it's like you're not having to compromise anything. And I know the Switch 2 is out, and it's much better than the Switch 1, but there are definitely still some things where it's like, this isn't a PS5, this isn't a Series X. So here's what they could do to actually differentiate themselves from the rest of the market. We're going to make the ultimate, we're going to come for both Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch and try and make like the most powerful gaming handheld hybrid console ever. Lauren, what do you think? What's something that you would want? What do you want to see from this next generation of Xbox? Or are you kind of thinking same as Tom and I here with this hybrid idea?
Well, it's interesting when you think about the jump between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X versus the PS4 and the PS5. Like PlayStation sat there and was like, let's just do something that's kind of also innovative. So they have the controller, like the DualSense controller was like, here's a really cool additional feature. And Xbox, meanwhile, their controllers still run on batteries, like physical batteries. Can we move past that, please? Jesus.
Oh, and right here, I plug it in.
Or you have to plug it in. Yeah, which is just silly in this day and age. Yeah, so I think they definitely need something like just a kind of a cool gimmick or something that makes the Xbox, whatever the next thing is, stand apart. But I am very with you guys on that. I would really love a handheld, like one that is kind of innovative in the way that the Switch is. I don't think everybody needs to have like a Switch version of their console, because otherwise that's like three handhelds to suddenly carry around. But um, I think it needs to be something like that, or it needs to be, let's have big power in small package. Like, let's make the box small and portable. Like, I'm even sitting here, as I've talked about before, like I obviously moved overseas, and the Xbox Series X was the most portable console that I could bring with me apart from the Switch. But even now I'm like, well, it's kind of chunky. It's kind of like a big brick that I have to carry around if I move again. Do I send it home? Like, I don't know if I need it anymore, because like we've just said, all the Xbox games seem to be coming to PlayStation. So that's kind of on my mind as well. So they need something that's like, you have to have this console for this reason, and it has to be this console. Or they need to ditch hardware altogether.
Yeah, I think that that's kind of the two directions they definitely need to be considering. Is either you do what Sega did in the early 2000s and you say, you know what, hardware was fun, we're just a publisher now. And I mean, that's what Microsoft's a software company. They make Windows. Like, hardware is not really the thing that they do. Xbox is a rare exception to that. So the fact that Xbox has gone on as long as it has is, I think, a testament to how much they believe in its vision and have believed in that brand. But I do think that especially with the $70 billion question that came into the equation when they purchased Activision Blizzard, I think that commitment to the Xbox has started to waver a little bit. I will say, as somebody who's never owned an Xbox, if they were to do the hybrid thing and say this is the most powerful hybrid out there, it's going to run games better than the Switch will, and it's going to have Game Pass on it, I, as a PlayStation owner, am going to start to think, I may make the jump here, just because that Game Pass library is such a great deal. Even on PC, there's so many amazing games, and that's not the entire Game Pass library. There's hundreds more on the Xbox consoles themselves. And so having that proposition presented to me, I would have to consider, it might financially even just make more sense for me to move over there, especially if some of the PlayStation games are going to start making their way over to Xbox, like there's been rumors that they are lately. So I don't know. I think that I agree with the two of you. You either do a hybrid thing, innovate completely, or turn off the faucet and don't do hardware anymore.
One quick question I had about Game Pass: do you need constant internet connection to use it? Like, can you download a game and then have it offline?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need constant internet connection, really?
No, you can do what Tom just said. Like, you can download it
Okay.
and then have it on your console. So that's a positive. It's just
Yeah.
that, like, so I think there is a way where you can like download games, and then like, say your subscription lapsed or whatever, and you never connected to the internet again, you could probably keep playing that game indefinitely. But
Yeah.
obviously it's not sustainable forever.
No. But yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if you have a portable console, like, it would be a shame if you needed, like, internet connection to access those
Yeah,
Game
like the
Pass games.
PS Portal.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can do offline, like, that's great for that library.
Okay. Do you want to get into building this first year, diving into the games we actually... Oh, Lauren, you have one more
Sorry,
question?
I just had one more thing.
Yeah.
I want to know what we think it's going to be named.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep with that stupid naming convention, because if they're calling I don't know what it's called, the Xbox ROG Ally X, is that what it's called?
Yep, that's what it's called.
That's so stupid. Like, don't call it that. Like, and that is proof that I think they're gonna keep to this weird, like, Series X or whatever. Yeah, like you said, Klein, like Series Z or whatever. I think they're gonna continue with that. I would prefer if they just called it, like, honestly, just call it Xbox 720. Like, I think that would rip. I think that'd be sick.
Sure. They might go back to that. They're kind of like the Fast and
Maybe.
Furious franchise, where it's like every film has to be named a different subtitle.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like it probably being like Xbox Series Z or something like that, or I'm like, maybe they'll go like back to A and be like Xbox Alpha or something like that. I thought it'd be funny if they did Xbox ZA, because that's just a little dig at Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that the Xbox 720 would be perfect for what they need right now. They need another complete 180, but I guess 360. Like, they need another complete reversal from where they were.
The
But
Xbox
it is
1000.
yeah, it's so hard to like predict what they're going to be called because everything has been different. Xbox 360, Xbox One,
Mm-hmm.
not to be confused with the real Xbox One, which was the first Xbox,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then Xbox Series. So, Lauren, you actually said Alpha and Omega, and I hadn't thought about it, but like I could see a world where it's like, hey, here's the next generation's naming convention, and here's the Xbox Alpha and the Xbox Omega, and that is what they go with, and there's two different SKUs again. Or you know what? Maybe they just call it Xbox. I don't know.
Oh
I like
God. The
right.
big reset.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll have some great branding name because they've done such a great job so far.
Yep.
Yeah, they got to do what Lauren says, the Fast and Furious thing. Xbox Too Fast, Too Furious. That just tells you everything you need to know about it.
2x
It's
2
Yep.
so
box.
fast. 2x
Xbox
2
Part 2.
box.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The Xbox Switcheroo, not to be confused with the Nintendo Switch, everyone. No, legally they are different names, but they do very similar things.
Yeah. To be honest though, even though all these names are stupid, I think they're all still better than the Xbox Series like line of consoles. So if they do it, I'll take it. Whatever
They
I can
just
get at
need
this
to
point.
stick with something. It's super frustrating, but also at the same time, it's like you've like bucked every trend up until this point. You may as well keep changing it.
Yeah.
Maybe they go back to the series, or no, before series. So last time it was Xbox One, and now this will be Xbox 2.
Yeah.
But with
Too
a
Fast, Too
with
Furious.
the number 2, not the words.
Oh, or it could
Oh.
be because it is a hybrid, or everything is your console now. It could be Xbox TOO.
Ah,
Wait, that's actually
yeah.
genius.
This is an
that's actually
Xbox 2.
that's actually
And so is
that's
that,
actually
and so is
sick.
that.
Oh
I would get on
no.
board with that, not gonna lie.
This is an Xbox ad, and it ends, and it's just some new piece of hardware, and the TOO.
Maybe it'll just be like Xbox TV or something like that.
Xbox
We're
as
giving
well.
these ideas away for free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
these
is the
are
we
great.
do a great show here. Okay, let's get into the games we want to see in the first year of this new Xbox console. Last time we did this, we were basing it off of a little game put together by amazing podcasters, TikTok personalities, internet people, Kit and Krista. They're an amazing Nintendo show. Go give them a listen, a watch. Former Nintendo, I think, promotions people. Like they used to work for Nintendo and now they do this. But we are taking that idea and throwing it into the Xbox machine. Basically, how it works is we have a bit of a menu here, counting down from $5, $4, $3, $2, and $1. And each of us have $15 to spend to build our ideal first year of Xbox. Under each of these dollar amounts are several game franchises based on kind of their popularity. I'm trying to think of what other factors, popularity and name recognition
Yeah,
and
excitement.
whether
Exclusives.
well, yeah, they're all exclusives, but I just mean the actual how, depending on how high and how low
Well,
they are,
some are
Oh,
like AAA, some are like AA,
yeah.
how
and you kind of like
prolific they are too,
Some
because
are
some of
old,
these have,
some are
yeah,
new.
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So I'll run down the list of the games, and then we can start getting into the what our first years would look like. Basically, in $5, which is the biggest games, we have Halo, The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Gears of War, and Forza Horizon. $4, we have Doom, Banjo Kazooie, Call of Duty, Fable, and Crash Bandicoot. $3, Wolfenstein, Overwatch, Dishonored, Starfield, and Indiana Jones. $2, Flight Simulator, Psychonauts, the Ori franchise. I didn't really know what to call that because they each have different names. Hellblade and Spyro. And then for $1, State of Decay, Killer Instinct, Battletoads, Crackdown, and Dead Rising. So we have $15. You can spend that money any way you like. Some of us may only have 3 games by the end of this. Some of us might have 7 or 8. It totally depends on how you want to disperse the money. But we are trying to build the first year of this console's life in games. I think we'll go to you first, Tom. What is your present to us like you're getting up in front of the class, book report time? What is the first year of the Xbox 2 looking like for you?
Uh, the question is, do I like go strategically and pick something like that I can guarantee, or do I just go straight with my heart and the thing that I want the most?
I think
Uh,
you should. I mean, everyone has their own strategy, but I think it should be like, what is going to make you buy an Xbox if they do this? Like, what are they selling you with?
right. Well, this is probably maybe it's expected. It probably is expected, to be honest, and it's kind of stupid. Like, that I would buy an Xbox for this, but it would legitimately. I would buy an Xbox if this game that I have in my head was on the console and wasn't anywhere else. I'm going with the $3 tier first of all. I'm going with Overwatch, my love hate franchise that has done me dirty so many times. Um, and like in my head, like I don't think we're gonna get an Overwatch first person shooter in like sequel maybe ever. I don't know if we'll ever get like that. My kind of idea for this is that it's not that kind of genre of game. It's like using the Overwatch franchise, but doing its own kind of thing in that universe. So the idea of kind of having in my head is like maybe it could be like a third person like shooter type game, maybe like a third person action game, but you pick and choose like a handful of characters, maybe, or even just one character from that universe. Um, and you have like this story focused thing that people have been wanting for years, and they scrapped it. And then now there's talks of maybe we'll go back to the story stuff, but I don't know if that'll actually happen. But if they incorporated all that story stuff into like this focused single player game where you're playing as a handful of heroes, I think that would just be really cool. And yeah, you could pick like the idea I have in my head is like you pick a couple from each class, like Tracer, Genji from the DPS attack class, maybe like Diva from the tank, and then like Mercy or Zenyatta from the healers, and you just have this smaller scope where you can build out these characters' move sets a bit more and how they like play around in this world. Maybe you could have some replayability of like picking different heroes, you can approach different missions different ways, or that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I think I would. I think Overwatch is just so underutilized as like an IP, and they just might as well try something completely new and different in this world. So that would get me to buy an Xbox. I don't know if that would work on anyone else, but it would definitely get me on the line.
Excellent. I'd love to see Overwatch.
Yeah, and you question like this was part of the big acquisition of Activision Blizzard, right? Like we want to see the
Yeah.
fruits of that. However, Overwatch 2 is no good, right?
Nope.
Not really. I mean, people still play it, but I don't know if they're just kind of. I don't know if it's Stockholm syndrome at this point. I mean, Klein and I got out when we could, but yeah, it's. I feel like it's just kind of that game is just really stagnant at this point. I feel like they need to do something completely different to make that acquisition worth it. Or when they have this franchise like Overwatch.
So would this be Overwatch like 3 in your mind? Like a whole kind of wiping the
I think
slate
it.
clean but still being a sequel?
I think it would be like a side qual. Like it would be taking
Okay.
it kind of like an Overwatch. I don't know, Overwatch subtitle. I don't know what the subtitle would be. Overwatch fried eggs. What do I think? Why did I say fried eggs? I don't know. It'd be something just completely
Amazing.
different. But I think because they have told some story stuff in like cinematics and that sort of thing. But there's a lot of gaps they haven't filled either. So it would almost be like running simultaneously with what they've kind of done with Overwatch at this point, I guess.
Sounds good. What's your next game?
Okay, screw it. We're gonna go with a $5 tier. Oh, this is dangerous because there's a couple. Oh my god. Okay, fine. I'll commit. I'm gonna pick $5 Fallout. I think like it's been a long time since we've got a decent Fallout game. I've not really even played Fallout. Like I don't think. Maybe at a friend's house or something like that. But I've never really dipped my toes into the franchise. Um, I know Fallout 76 was pretty rough at the beginning. I think it's better now from what I've kind of heard. Um, but I think like especially after the TV show, the fact that like we don't have like a new Fallout game to jump into, and that makes sense because they were working on Starfield for so long, and now they're on Elder Scrolls. Is just a little bit crazy. Even if this was just like a Fallout New Vegas remake, I think that would still be really exciting. But I think like Fallout, they just need to do something with it, even if it's something more incremental like that. But yeah, I'd love to see that.
It's been 10 years coming up this fall since the last mainline Fallout game. Fallout 4 was 2015.
Oh my god, that's upsetting. That's crazy.
I believe Fallout 5 is a thing that they've talked about
They have
happening.
said it is a thing in the same way that, like, it is even
Elder Scrolls
less of a thing than like Elder Scrolls 6 is, which Elder Scrolls
Yeah,
6 is a trailer at this point, and who
yeah.
knows what else.
But they clearly have no intention of abandoning the franchise. I think your point about the New Vegas remake is incredibly valid, Tom, and I think we probably will actually see it this year. I don't think we'll have to wait until the next generation of Xbox, but I think that would be definitely a good idea if that's something that they do. I think Fallout 5, whatever it is, should be like New Vegas 2.
Yeah, I could see because people love that world, and it's kind of crazy that they haven't like continued it in any way. And like because season 2 is gonna really focus on that world and that story, I just think it makes sense to go back to something like that in some
Hmm.
form. So I'd love to see that play out in some form.
Go ahead. What's your third? You have $7 left.
Jesus, man. Like the reason this is conflicted is like, oh, I was like, oh, maybe I'll pick another $5, but then I saw the $4 column, and I'm like, I can't not pick this. I have to pick Banjo Kazooie. Like I have to. If this is like the dream thing, if this is like I get to pick what the Xbox's first year, like Banjo is on there. Um, Especially because with like Astrobot has proven that like 3D platformers can be really good on not Nintendo platforms. Um, I just think like it's crazy that they still haven't done this. Um, and I'd love to see it. I'd love to see them maybe not do the nuts and bolts thing where it's like you're building cars and stuff like that and vehicles. And it's like a proper like return to form. Basically like Odyssey, because the original Banjo Kazooie is basically a proto Super Mario Odyssey. Um, yeah, I think the Bear and the Bird need to come back, and it's gonna be on the next Xbox.
It is it?
Yeah, go on.
I'm hesitant. Like I
Right?
want it to, and I keep saying it's going to be, and it never is. So I want to live in the world you live in, Tom, and I will have Banjo Kazooie on my first year as well. But I do say it with like just a hint of trepidation. Like when and by who and will it actually happen?
I think the point about Astrobot is a good one though. Like that was obviously phenomenally successful for PlayStation, and I think Xbox probably looked at it and was like, "Well, we need something like that." Obviously, we'll probably get Silk Song this year. That's not an Xbox exclusive, but that will be playable on Xbox, so that could be a thing. But I think something that's a little bit more like has the nostalgia IP attached to it, and could like replicate that platforming joyful formula that Astrobot did would be really a good thing for Xbox to have, particularly to draw younger players to the console.
Yeah,
Bring back
absolutely.
Bear and the
And I
Bird.
think I think like the fact that Donkey Kong Bonanza also had like just a lot of surprising amount of like rare energy. Like it had so much of that kind of what Rare did with Donkey Kong Country, and like Banjo to an extent as well. That I feel like it is a shame that we're not also seeing that like kind of aesthetic and gameplay style put somewhere else. So yeah, it's a good point as well. What you said, Lauren, like younger audiences need games like this. I feel like, and you don't really get that as much on like an Xbox or a PlayStation. Like you have Astrobot, but I can't really think off the top of my head like much else. So yeah, I think it makes sense. But yeah, where am I gonna go next? So I have $3 left, right?
Set 8,
Yeah.
12. Yeah, $3.
Three
How many
bucks.
Controller Club members does it take to do
Yeah,
math?
Oh, I hate math so much. Okay, I might as well just go for the $2 and the $1 then. Let's see what's. Let's see. I mean,
or you could pick another 3.
I could
Hmm.
pick another $3, but I don't know.
Or 3 ones.
Oh, 3 ones. That would be pretty insane. No, I think I'm gonna go for the $2 first of all, and then I'm gonna pick because I kind of my mind's saying go for another platformer, but my brain is saying uh no, I should pick Flight Simulator because I think I think what they do
Why?
with Flight Sim is, I think it's really cool. But what if like this is so dumb. What if you could like fly a pelican from Halo
You
in
can.
Flight Simulator? You can? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Can I take it back? Can I take it
If
back?
you want
No,
to. You can.
no. I think I think like, okay, you can do that, right? But what if they like, I don't know, they could take it to like other Xboxy franchises. I don't want to just make like every franchise into like a member berry thing where you're like, oh, this thing, I recognize this thing from this Easter egg, whatever. But like, I think it'd be kind of cool if there was like a mode where you could like fly over like, I don't know, the Halo ring or something like that, or you could fly over the Banjo Kazooie map, something. I don't know. I'm not a game developer. These are terrible ideas, but I'm just throwing stuff at the wall. But I don't know. I think Flight 7 could be fun with different integrated IPs and stuff.
I'm not going to pick this one, so I'm going to throw out my idea for what it would be, because I do think Flight Simulator is a really like big successful IP for Microsoft and Xbox. What if it was space? Like, what if you could fly like rockets and things, and it was a true simulator of
Sure.
that?
Yeah. Rocket Simulator. That'd be fun.
I know you can maybe go to Arrakis in the new one and fly one of the like ornithopter
like an
Oh, yeah.
ornithopter?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. See, this is why it's like, this is why like I don't know anything about Xbox. I didn't know you could. That's sick. This sounds amazing. But yeah, I just like to see more because it's really cool. Like of all the kind of streams and videos I've seen in Flight Simulator are really cool. But like, I love to see a little zhuzh, I guess, a little bit more
A
zhuzh.
little zhuzh.
A little
Okay.
zhuzh. Anyway,
What's the
moving
$1
swiftly
game
on.
you're taking?
My $1. So this is tough because like I'm not really familiar with any of these franchises. But what I
Well,
will
you didn't
say,
have to. You didn't have to take Flight Simulator. You could.
yeah. But I wanted to. I like the kind of. I want it to be even. So, but but having said that, the one that speaks to me is Battletoads.
Of course.
Okay.
I think a new Battletoads be kind of cool, right? It'd be kind of cool.
Would it? They did
Yeah.
that. They brought it back.
Then bring it back again. I don't know.
Tom's lack of Xbox knowledge is showing.
Oh, guys, I really wanted Overwatch and Fallout, guys, and Banjo. But no, Balto's. It could be something. They could maybe turn that into an Astrobot thing, you know. And you're playing as the different Toads. It could be really hard, like those old Battletoads games are. I feel like such a. I feel like such a
Fake fan.
fraud.
Jeez Louise.
Damn.
Okay, those are
Yeah.
your 5 games: Overwatch,
Those are my
Fallout,
5.
Banjo Kazooie, Flight Simulator, and Battletoads. Okay, Lauren, we did Tom's first year of Xbox, looking great. Really excited for that Battletoads game. Tom.
Looking
Just
great.
can't wait. Just like you, I'm itching. I'm trying to remember their names. Stink, Wart, something. They all have
Ew.
gross,
Wait,
groggy
can I
names.
take them off?
I know.
That's
I don't know.
horrible.
Yeah. Lauren Rouse, your first year of Xbox, what's it looking like? I'm sure you've done a little more preparation than Tom did.
I think I've thought about this maybe too much.
Okay.
Just because, I am an Xbox owner now, and so I'm sitting here being like, do I like
You're a stakeholder.
legitimately do I legitimately stay in with this brand? But because I think I'm kind of like, it's fairly obvious that I'm like, yeah, I'll be getting the PS6, whatever that is. But the Xbox is like, you're gonna have to win me over with something. And I think the first thing that would win me over is with $5, Elder Scrolls. It's the big. I'm not gonna say like it's kind of like the white whale of Xbox. That's like it will be like their GTA 6, like their big The Witcher or whatever it is. Like that is going to be their big, huge system seller if they get it done. Which I believe the first trailer came out. Is it 10 years ago now? Like how long has this thing been since it's been announced?
It was the same year. It was the same conference as Starfield.
Okay, so not 10 years, but it's been a while.
It'd be close. Like
it was 2018, apparently.
Okay, still a
7
while.
years.
7 years.
Yeah, I think when they bought Bethesda, like this is one of the big tent poles of that company. And I mean, I actually haven't played any of the Elder Scrolls games. I own Skyrim. It's It's on my. I know it's surprising for someone like me. It's just that I don't really like have 50 to 70 hours to dedicate to it right now, and I plan to one day. But I think like jumping in on 6 would be like something I'm definitely intending to do. And if it was I think it would be a great thing to launch the new Xbox with, just because it does have such recognition. And it would definitely, if it was an Xbox exclusive, which I don't think they'll do, but if it is, that would be like number one. I have to buy the console, right, to play it. But I don't think it will be exclusive. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely going to come out on PS5 or PS6 or whenever it actually comes out. And you guys are my team. We won't have much conversation about, because I also have Elder Scrolls in my first year, and I agree with you. I think a launch game would be amazing. Are you at all nervous about the future of Elder Scrolls now, knowing what Starfield is and was? Because I think before Starfield came out, Xbox thought of that as, yeah, Elder Scrolls carries a bit more weight, but it was going to be the next massive open world Bethesda RPG, and it kind of fell flat.
Not really. I think because it was a new IP, it was like they had so much more to lose with like trying to establish something like Starfield and get all the mechanics right and get the world right. And yes, it used a lot of Bethesda hallmarks, but it wasn't like linked to a franchise. Whereas this, it's like, well, we can go back to our tried and true methods and kind of do an evolution of the same thing and probably sell people on it. Like people know what to expect. Whereas Starfield was like an unknown quantity. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm worried about it ever coming out, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we will get an Elder Scrolls 6 in some form at some point. Like, it just feel like that to me. It's like GTA 6. It'll happen eventually. Beyond that, though, I don't know what that studio looks like, because it's like Todd Howard's. I don't know how many more games he has left in him before he wants to call it a day. And I mean, that studio is a lot of people, but he is very much like the lifeblood of that studio. Xbox as a whole is so up in the air. Just stuff to think about.
I think the
that
cool
is what we're
thing.
thinking about today.
Yeah, this is the thought exercise. I think the thing that would be really cool with Elder Scrolls 6, because I can't foresee this coming out on the current gen at this point. Like, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Definitely not.
I think it would be cool if they did the Breath of the Wild thing. If they are doing like a hybrid console, and it's like, okay, Elder Scrolls is launching with our next console. It's a hybrid, and it runs perfectly on this handheld, and like, there's no compromises, nothing. You play it for 20 hours or something on this handheld. Like, I think that would be like a whoa kind of moment potentially. So yeah, I'd love to see what they do with it. I think they've learned their lesson from Starfield, hopefully. But I do hope they kind of keep that weird. I don't know, like Skyrim has like a little bit of jank to it, not just in terms of like the
a little bit. Is you can.
Well, I'm not talking about like
you can break Skyrim very easily.
I'm not even talking about like mechanically. I'm just talking about like
the way it looks. Sure.
Well, the way like people like talk and stuff is kind of like, this
the
is just
dead
kind of
the dead Bethesda
strange.
eyes are what always get me when they look at the camera and it's like, hello, adventurer, and you're like, what are you looking at? Like, your eyes aren't moving at all.
Yeah, and like maybe they'll update some of that stuff, but also maybe that's part of the charm of it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think Elder Scrolls will hit. It'll be sick whenever it comes out, hopefully. But yeah,
it'll be the first Elder Scrolls to come out in a post Witcher 3 world, which is like kind of insane because Witcher 3 is almost 10 years ago. I think it is 10 years ago.
It skipped a whole generation.
Yeah, so that is, they are still. You mentioned jank, Tom, and yes, there is some charm there, but like, people's standards are, the bar's been raised, right? We've seen that Witcher 4 demo. We've seen Baldur's Gate. We've seen all of these like amazing RPG experiences since then, and so I think that's why Starfield really didn't hit the way that they thought it was going to, because it was another Bethesda game, which in the year of 2023, I guess, wasn't good enough.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think like they need to raise the bar and like come to the party with what everyone else is doing, which is things like what The Witcher is doing, and can't think of any others. Anyway, but we can't really stand for the jank anymore, particularly as like technology gets better and fidelity and graphics and all of that, and hardware gets better. It's like kind of there's like no excuse for that. Okay, next I'm gonna go with. It's like I know that I was one who's like, can I have Crash and Spyro on this list? Because it is still weird to me that now Xbox owns those. But I think if I can only have one, it's going to be. I think it's going to be Spyro. So that's $2. Just because we haven't had a sequel in this like recent generation, I guess. Whereas Crash did get Crash 4, and it was great from Toys for Bob. And I do hope that that Toys for Bob Spyro game does eventuate somehow. Maybe they can partner with Xbox on that again. But I think like a mainstream Spyro sequel could have that same kind of like magic that Astrobot does, and like be another thing that brings in like younger viewers to the Xbox console, kind of like if they did Banjo Kazooie. But Spyro's my Banjo and Kazooie, so that's what I'm really hoping to see in this next generation, particularly now that they own it. Like, I don't think it's wise to just be like letting it sit there.
If you had to guess, Lauren, when's the last mainline Spyro game that we got? Not counting the Reignited trilogy.
Yeah, so like the ones that were like the Elijah Wood dark kind of.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Oh, those were still PS3. Or were they PS2?
Yeah, 2004.
Hate that.
That's awful. Oh my god. Wait, what about Skylanders though? Come on, that's surely.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait! Oh, that was the mainline series. 2006 was A New Beginning. 2007 was The Eternal Night. So those two are Elijah Wood, and then we
There's a
got
third one.
Dawn of the Dragon in 2008.
Yeah, that was the last one of that
For
one.
the
Okay,
PS2,
so it's still been like
Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360.
yeah, so it's still been like over 15 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
Too
kinda
long.
Yeah, but Crash was the same, and that was a really good sequel. So I know it can be done, and I hope that they do it.
Yeah.
The dragon, bring him back. He's his games are so good. Tom, do you have like Spyro experience at all with that original trilogy?
This is the thing, not really, and I want to play the Reignited trilogy, but I've just not gone around to it. I know like flying's a big part of the game, right? Like I'm assuming he's a dragon.
There's some flying.
I
It's more
think
like
it would
gliding.
Yeah,
gliding, right? I think it would be kind of cool if they do like you're going
Flight
like
Simulator
back to
with Spyro.
with Spyro. Yeah, that's
There we
exactly where I
go.
was going with that. Thank you for fixing my previous
And his
entry.
little dragonfly friend, who I always forget the name of.
That'd be sick. No, I think like going back to Astro Bot and Donkey Kong Bonanza, like Donkey Kong, for example, the whole thing is like the whole concept of the game is like digging and that sort of stuff. I think it'd be cool if they centered a whole game around flying and like the verticality of that, and like adapting Spyro's moveset to like these different levels where you have to like ascend to these different platforming challenges and that sort of thing. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Okay, Lauren, you're third. Next one.
Okay, I was tempted to throw my plan out the window, but I don't think I will. Yeah, I think this one's just for me. It's $3 for Dishonored. But technically,
that's not just for you. There's so many people who would be excited for a new Dishonored.
the only reason I'm hesitant on this is that we don't actually know. I'm kind of taking it more as just a arcane game, not necessarily Dishonored, because we don't know if they ever will return to that franchise. We do know that they have Blade, but I just don't think we were going to put Blade here because it's not like really established. So it could technically be Blade as well. It's just whatever Arcane wants to put out should be something in the first year of Xbox is kind of my pitch here. I would love it to be a Dishonored 3. I think that would be very cool, but I would also be happy for it to be like a Blade game. I'm not a huge fan of Prey, but if they want to do Prey 2, I'll play that as well. So just something from them.
Isn't there
Not
Prey
Redfall 2.
technically? Yeah, I was going to ask. Redfall 2. Isn't there Prey technically Prey 2?
Okay, so Prey 3.
Yeah, it's confusing because that game was thrown around by like 4 different studios.
I wouldn't be surprised if Blade is a next gen Xbox game, depending on how quickly the next console comes out, or the next generation starts.
Do you want to ask that question right now? When's the next Xbox coming out?
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't bring that up.
That's a good
2027?
question.
Like,
Yeah.
I
that to
mean, that would
me,
go along with the cycle of it kind of being every 7 years.
yeah,
Yeah. It just feels so soon.
I
But
It
like it
know.
does.
does.
But I mean, it's probably
But if you're
likely.
Xbox, do you also want to cut bait and just like this next generation can't come soon enough?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's what Nintendo did with the Wii U, so I wouldn't be surprised. I think Blade probably is still this generation. Maybe it is the latter, very latter end of it. But yeah, I think Xbox, yeah, 2027 does that make sense. Maybe 2028 at a push.
When
But
did we see Blade, Lauren? It was a Game Awards.
I don't think it was last Game Awards, it was the one before.
So 2023, because
No, it was the Xbox Showcase, wasn't it?
maybe
I can't remember now.
2023. Because
the
the
game was
word
announced in
is that
December 2023
yeah, it was
and
Game
went into
Okay.
full
Awards.
production the following year. So
Yeah.
maybe it is less. Yeah.
Rumor is that yeah, they didn't start development until like after that trailer had been released.
Yeah, and they closed Arcane, I think, Texas or Austin. So I think they are just back to being a one like game company. So I don't think they're simultaneously working on Blade and something else.
Mhm.
So whatever it is, I think would be a great first year Xbox game.
Okay. You have math. $5 left.
Yeah. Like there's definitely plenty of things that it's like I want to see, but I think I will kind of go with Tom and pick Fallout just because it's a game that's like I really want to. That's two Bethesda games, I suppose. But anyway, it's a game that I really want to play, and I've tried my hardest to play Fallout 4 like multiple times. I can't get into it, and I'm just praying that this next one will be the one that works for me. So, and I think like having like Elder Scrolls, it's never happening that Elder Scrolls and Fallout are coming out in the same year. I recognize this, but this is a dream scenario. So,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that would round it up.
Said that, like I think like in the world where we get like a Fallout New Vegas remaster, I could potentially see like if it was handled by like a different studio, that I think that could potentially work. So I don't think this is too like as far fetched as it may seem.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Where is it being set? Where are you placing your next Fallout game?
Well, I said New Vegas too, but otherwise I think somewhere just completely different from anywhere that we've been. Like, let's go. I know 76 kind of did like Fallout London, but let's like go somewhere out of the States. Let's see other parts of. Let's see Fallout Vancouver.
I don't know if 76 was all like Appalachia, or Appalachia area.
Oh, I thought there was like a London map.
London, there's like a fan mod. I don't think
There's
they've
a
ever
mod.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, let's like.
I think that the
London.
Fallout world distinctly like maybe the only place that is post-apocalyptic is America, I think. I don't know though.
Oh,
That
because
wouldn't
that's
make
where
sense.
they dropped bombs?
Yeah.
I thought there was.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense
it would
though.
have gone everywhere. Okay, Mexico.
The one I always hear is New Orleans. That's like the thing that people throw out all the time.
That would be cool.
Go to the swamp.
Florida already is Fallout.
Florida, yeah, I was gonna say Florida's already Fallout. We're getting that next year in GTA 6.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your team. Elder Scrolls, Spyro, Dishonored, and Fallout. One for each quarter. We will jump to my 5, and I'm like, I had a plan, but I'm like, is that really what I want? And I don't know if it is. I had Halo written down, but like Forza Horizon's calling to me. And so I'm going to say Forza Horizon.
Okay.
Because Forza Horizon is awesome. I like racing games, but Forza Horizon breaches containment when it comes to racing games. I know so many people who don't particularly enjoy those Gran Turismo, even the Forza Motorsport games that have so much fun in Forza Horizon, because it is kind of about finding your own fun in this amazing open world car playground, which is funny because it's made by Playground Games. So I think a new Forza Horizon is going to happen. I would be interested to see where they set it, because they've done I think France, Australia, Mexico. I'm trying to remember where else, but they could set in space. I don't care. I'll play this game wherever it is. So yeah, Forza Horizon I think makes a lot of sense, especially to like launch a console with. Have it right out from the get go. Here you go. You don't have to pack it in, but make it the Mario Kart of this generation, and have everybody then look back at Mario Kart for the Switch 2 and go, man, this is what it could have been like.
Yeah, I've not played Forza Horizon. Like
It's on
many of the other
PlayStation.
Xbox
We can make it
titles.
happen now.
Yeah, I do want to try it at some point. But yeah, I think this would be cool. Like another. My mind is, and again, like I could eat my words here. I've named something that they might have already done, but like I think a really cool like coastal like location, like maybe like a Greece or like in Italy, that sort of thing, where you're driving by like the
Nice.
coast and see
What
the
about
ocean.
Japan?
Oh,
Yeah,
Coast,
okay.
nice.
lots
Yeah.
of cherry
So,
blossoms,
yeah.
Lots of
mountains.
range. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Ghost of Tsushima, but you just put a car in it.
Yeah, but you're driving a Ford Bronco all over it.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Any Forza Horizon thoughts, Lauren? No.
It's a big franchise for them. It would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Cars are scary. Okay. Now I don't know what to do. I think I will also do Banjo-Kazooie for all the reasons Tom talked about.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to add. It's time. It has to happen. And of the 3D platformers on here, I would actually, I think, be most excited to see Banjo-Kazooie, even though I don't have like a super deep history with them. I have a much deeper history with Spyro. I just know how big a deal it would be if Banjo-Kazooie were to come back. So that'd be cool, and I'd really want to play it. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'm gonna copy you again, Tom. Like, I don't know what's going on. We're the same person today. I am. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not, because we haven't gotten a game from this franchise in a while. I'm gonna say Wolfenstein. I love the modern machine game Wolfenstein games, and it's been a little bit. Those first two games were awesome, and then I think it was Youngblood or New Blood was a little less so, and then we haven't heard anything since then. Id is kind of done their thing with the Doom games. We just got a Doom game, so I feel like a Machine Games Wolfenstein game is like ready, waiting in the wings. Indiana Jones does throw a bit of a wrench in that because they made that game, and so who knows when work on a new Wolfenstein could have started. But I'd love to see another Wolfenstein. I think they're my preferred kind of like arcadey shooter of the modern era. I like the Doom stuff with the electric guitars and the demons, but like shooting Nazis in the head with this like really zany story that you genuinely like buy into is a lot of fun. And like that last game was really fun, where there are moments where you get killed and then they resurrect you with your head and put you on like a mechanical body and you go to space. It's insane, but also like a lot of fun. And who doesn't love murdering Nazis in the streets? So yeah, Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool to maybe for Machine Games to do that again, like after Indy. Although maybe it sounds like they're maybe doing a sequel. I'm not sure, but
Hmm.
but yeah, I've only played that first kind of reboot, Wolfenstein, a bit of that. I enjoyed it for the most part. I think I'm the opposite. I think I still prefer the Doom side of the kind of arcade shooters, but like I think that world is really cool, and like I think more of those kind of styles of FPSs in the world, I think is only a good thing. So yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I would like to get sucked into a new Wolfenstein kind of in the same way that I did with Doom the Dark Ages. Like I want some kind of new spin on it that's going to like attract a new player like me, because I'm like aware of the franchise but I haven't actually played it myself. So if they could come up with something that's like an interesting kind of hook to get me in, like maybe it's Wolfenstein's Cyberpunk or something like that. I don't know, but like just like that has a unique take in this next iteration. I think that could be very cool and get people like me to play.
I think the hook with this reboot of the last two was that it was like something that Doom hadn't done, in that it's a really gripping story. Like the first two Wolfenstein games that have come out since I guess it was like PS4 generation that they
Yeah.
started coming out. It's like, oh, this isn't just Doom where you're going into an arena and blowing people up. It is actually a fun action movie that you are running through with these characters that are very, very well performed and a story that is zany but like has genuine moments to it. And I actually think you would enjoy these maybe even more than you would like Doom, Lauren, because it is kind of like throwing in some of that filmic aspect that I know you enjoy. Okay, I have a 5. I have a 4. I'm gonna do the full wipe. I'm gonna do a 2 and a 1. Next up is Ori. I think that the first 2 Ori games are some of the best Metroidvanias I've ever played. I think that first one to me is probably a bit better than the second one. The second one is really good. It's just a lot of it, and they kind of blew everything up from the first game. And I liked that kind of more honed experience of the first game, and just the music, the art. I still can't believe that these games like look the way they do running. And when you're crafting a first year or even just any year of a console, you kind of want those big. You want a Forza Horizon, you want Banjo-Kazooie, Wolfenstein, but you also want these kind of smaller things to sprinkle in around. And I think Ori is a perfect sprinkle. I think Ori is a perfect just like side dish to some of these bigger courses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I played Blind Forest like semi recently, and I was blown away by that game. I still need to play Will o' the Wisp, but I'd love to get another like really focused, beautiful looking Metrovania in the style of Ori. I know that like that studio, Moon Studio, is working on is a No Rest for the Wicked, right? And that's in like early access. And that's kind of a departure from what they've done in the past. But
It's like a
yeah,
Diablo mixed with Soulsborne gameplay, which sounds fun.
yeah. So, I would love to get like I love Metroidvanias, and this would be cool. Like you said, a little sprinkle in this kind of release year to get like those fans really amped.
And maybe it'll come to Switch 2 as well, because the first 2 have since come to Nintendo. So there we go.
Yeah.
And last, I have Dead Rising. I had this on my list from the very beginning. Dead Rising is a franchise that I don't have a ton of history with, but it was a sleepover game. I never had an Xbox 360, but Dead Rising 2, me and my friends would, similar to GTA 4 at the time, would just cause mayhem. And it's just lots of zombies running around. I would like them to go maybe a bit smaller, because I know like Dead Rising 3, maybe Dead Rising 4, if that exists. I'm trying to remember. Went really big. I remember that being one of the big like complaints. Let's bring it back to the mall where the first 2, I think, games took place, and set it in a big mall, have lots of zombies, lots of zany weapons, this kind of timer aspect to the game where you have like a certain amount of time to complete everything. And it's a franchise that we haven't really heard from in a really long time, and it isn't like owned by Xbox, but it is associated with Xbox. I don't think they've ever come anywhere else. I think it's a Capcom game. So it's one of those things that you can like pick up, blow the dust off of, and see what it does in this environment.
Yeah, I only know Dead Rising of like you said, when you mentioned the mall, that's all I think. Like, I just picture like footage of the main character just going through the mall and like being chased by a horde of zombies. So you're setting it in like a location like that, or like I don't know, like an office building. Maybe you're going down like through different offices and that sort of thing. Like with
That's
zombie
cool.
office workers. Dwight is a zombie now, and he's pissed. He's still pissed that he put his stapler in his Jello. But yeah, I think this could be cool to bring that into like the modern age and kind of set it apart from like other zombie, your Last of Us's, for example. Like I think a completely different side of the zombie genre.
What about Dead Rising set at Disneyland? But not Disneyland, but like
Legally
similar
distinct.
idea.
Like
Right?
Zombieland.
Disneyland.
Like Zombieland. Make a Zombieland
okay.
Dead Rising game, or Dead Rising set in an airport.
I don't know. I'm kind of sold on Tom's idea. Like, I like the idea of going up the floors of the office building, and then like the final CEO is at the top, and each level gets progressively crazier. I think that could be. There's something in that.
Let's make a game. Someone learn how to develop. We can make this happen. Okay, my lineup is Forza Horizon, Banjo-Kazooie, Wolfenstein, a new Ori game, and Dead Rising. Lauren had Elder Scrolls, Spyro, Dishonored, and Fallout. And Tom had Overwatch, Fallout, Banjo-Kazooie, and Flight Simulator, and his favorite game of all time, Battletoads.
I stand by it.
I think Battletoads is on Switch Online as like a classic game. Gotta give it a try now, Tom.
Yeah, maybe New Game Plus. We'll see.
One of the Toads
No.
came to
No.
Killer Instinct as a DLC guest fighter, so you can play
Oh.
as one of the Battletoads in an Xbox fighting game.
That's so weird.
Do we have any honorable mentions or anything we want to throw out? I do want to say I think of the games we have on this list, the most likely one I think logically is Halo. I think that's definitely going to launch.
And
the
no
next
one's
Xbox.
mentioned it.
I think because we're not like big Halo people, but I think if we were picking logically versus with our hearts, it would be Halo.
Yeah, redefining Halo is going to be huge. And I love specifically Halo multiplayer. I'm just like, after Infinite, I'm like, I don't know what you do with this franchise to bring people back. But then again, I felt the same way about Battlefield, and it's the hottest thing right now in the world of shooters.
And they've talked about like 343's gone and made that big statement of like, we are doing something revolutionary with Halo now. So it will be a big reset,
whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, like they've like teased footage of like test footage of Master Chief and that sort of thing. So like it's something is ruminating. But
because they're moving to Unreal, and so it'll they're making a game. It's just a matter of is it going to be enough to recapture people.
Yeah, I guess you like the only way I could see is like returning to that arcadey multiplayer that Halo 3 really like pioneered, but like I just don't know if you can do that in this day and age at this point. But I'd love to see Halo do well again. Like it would be nice to see.
Infinite multiplayer was amazing. Like they nailed it. It just they didn't support it enough for what they were, the way they were kind of branding it with battle passes and seasons. It was like, whoa, this season is taking like 6 months, and after you introduce the season, you haven't added anything since then, and so people fall off. And then when the next season comes around, no one came back. It's like, come on. It was called Halo Infinite for a reason. It was supposed to go on forever. Okay, exactly. That is our first year of the new Xbox, the Xbox, 2. We're adding a comma into the name of it. Let's get into what we've been playing over the last week. Lauren, I see your book-selling adventures. They're still going strong.
I think I purely exist now to play Tiny Bookshop. It's all I think about. It's all I play. I play it like every day. And it's not like it's like the most revolutionary game ever. It's just like a really addictive cycle. And it's actually way longer than I thought it would be. Like I was looking up how long to beat. I think the full game takes like, was it 8 hours or 16? Whatever it was, I was like, this is long for like what I thought it would be. Because you basically like, you go through every day of the week and there's like seasons. And there's, I think, about 28 to 30 days per season, but then you do 2 years. So you're playing like something like math, like over 200 days, I think, by the time you roll credits, and I'm not even close to that. So I'm just enjoying the daily cycle of it. I am interested to see by the time I get to like year 2 last season, like what do things look like? Have I like, is my van like, do I have shelves spilling onto the street? Like, is there a new genre? Like I'm interested to see like what the like what more elements they add as we get towards the end, but I'll keep you posted.
I didn't realize that it had like actual licensed books in it. Like the books you're recommending to these people are all real books. With, I don't know how that licensing works. Like, and there's lots of them. So that's like that.
Well,
is
they don't use covers.
Really cool.
They don't use covers or anything, and they make up the blurbs themselves. So it's kind of like, I think they can get around it quite easily. You know, if they're talking about like, you know, I was like, oh, someone's like, oh, I really like a book like Percy Jackson. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, I know you're probably going to like Harry Potter. And so that's like a really cool, like ingrained knowledge. But then there's others that I'm like, I've never heard of this book. And now I'm kind of curious to read it in my own life. So it's fun.
That sounds fun. That sounds good. Tom, are you going to get on the Tiny Bookshop train?
I mean, every time Lauren talks about it, I'm like, this game sounds really fun and cozy. Like I should give it a try. But yeah, as for me, like gaming this week, not much. I've played Portal, and that's about it. So
okay, well, we'll be talking about Portal coming up pretty quick with our new Game Plus Book Club Game of the Month. I have a game that I want to shout out that might be going under the radar a little bit, and I think that is absolutely criminal. I saw this going around on Twitter, Blue Sky, over the last 10 days. I think it came out at the beginning of August. It's a game called Ooh. It is OOO. Some titles for it have 4 O's, some titles have 3. I can't tell which one's the real one. This is a Metroidvania unlike anything I've ever played. I beat it in, it's a Steam game right now. I beat it in an hour and 55 minutes. And it is honestly a incredible Metroidvania where you're a little caterpillar working through these kind of, each screen is a puzzle, and you're working through the puzzle and working your way through the map. And your body, like a caterpillar, is kind of bulbous. So you have your head and then these kind of lumps behind you. And each one of those lumps is a bomb. And so you can leave one behind and
Oh, I
drop the
have
bomb.
seen this.
And you don't have a jump button. So you use the bomb to, like, you can get up on top of the bomb, it'll shoot you upwards. You can be beside the bomb, it'll shoot you forwards. You can, once you get more than one bomb, you can like stack them precariously. So like you can trigger one to shoot you up and the other to shoot you forward. And so ultimately all you're doing is trying to learn the language of what these bombs can do within the game to progress past each screen. The power-ups themselves, though, don't exist. Like, it is a Metroidvania without any like double jump, without any of those like things you unlock. What you are what you are learning are the power-ups. So each screen is kind of teaching you, hey, here's like, let's say like a language. Here's a word. Here's like a particular thing you can do with the bomb. And then the next screen, it'll be like, okay, you learned that. Now like try it this way or add this to it. And then you eventually get to like the very end of whatever direction you're going in, and it's just a dead end, and if with a fast travel point, and then it's like, oh, I have to fast travel back to where it like split and use all of this knowledge that I've accumulated to get past the split. So theoretically, I could go through, now that I know the whole language of the game, and just like skip all the learning and like beat it in 5 or 6 minutes, I think. But it is such a unique, cool idea. And like the closest thing to power ups you get is you get more than one bomb eventually. You get more bulbous body parts, and then you can use them as bombs. But it was just such a fun, creative, unique, very, very like cutesy, colorful, kind of reminds me of Animal Wells art style, pixelated graphics, really nice music. And it's one of the best games I've played all year, and it was like $6, and I beat it in an hour and 55 minutes, and that was getting like stumped in a couple places. So I'd highly recommend it. It's called Ooh, 3 O's. It's insane. It's great.
Yeah, I just realized that Ooh is like the character, like that. That's what the character looks like. So
Yeah,
that's
he
it's
looks
fun.
like
That's
it's
cool.
a little 3 O's. Yeah,
Little
so
Ooh
it's on
baby.
Steam right now. I hope it comes elsewhere. Like, I would love for more people to play it. I played it all in controller, so I see no reason why it shouldn't come to Switch or PlayStation or what have you. But I called it in my little like Twitter blurb I wrote about it when I beat it, was like, this is this year's Animal Well. It's not nearly as deep as Animal Well, but it is very much like that kind of gameplay where you're slowly unraveling what you can actually do with the tools that are given to you. And it's so good. And I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe not for game of the year, but like when we do award stuff at the end of the year for something, whether it's like underrated or like, I would not be surprised if I'm talking about it again then. So shout out. Ooh, you can play it on Steam. It's like $6 Canadian, and you beat it one sitting. Really, it took me a couple sittings, but you could beat it in one sitting if you wanted to. I do want to go back and see if I can do it all without having to like really do anything now that I've learned it all, but it's really good. Comment corner, Tom. We'll jump over there. Do we have a comment for this week? I saw one.
Yeah. We do have two actually, so I'll just read them out here quickly. First one here comes from our boy Ryan Cortero, and he says, "Love the characters you guys suggested," and this was about Marvel took on Fighting Souls. We pitched dream Marvel characters to appear in that game last episode, and Ryan continues. Black Panther as a defensive character in a fighting game sounds interesting. I feel like Daredevil and Elektra would be perfect for this game as well. And we also got one other comment here from at Arcane Smash, and they say, "Great picks. I wouldn't say no to any of them, except maybe non-anti Venom. And then they just say, "Let's get Jubilee in this game." And yeah, like I said in the episode, more mutants is great for me. So yeah, thanks for your comments, guys, and yeah, hopefully these characters make it into the game.
I cannot wait to play Marvel Tokon. Every day it dawns on me, like, it could be at PAX, and if it's at PAX, I'm dropping everything and like I'm going to play Marvel Tokon. I've signed up for, like, I'm on all the Marvel Tokon update Twitter accounts, and like I'm in the subreddit, and I'm just like, I want to know everything I can about this game. So thank you so much for writing in. You can always write in and get featured on the comment corner. This week's question, I'm asking you, listener, viewer, what is the one thing that you most want from the next Xbox? It can be a feature, it can be a funny name, it can be a game. What is the one thing that you most want from the next Xbox? You can let us know here on YouTube or on podcast services and Spotify comments and that. We're going to quickly check in our New Game Plus Video Game Book Club Game of the Month. Tom, you had mentioned it. Each month we do pick a game. We play it. For August, we are playing Portal. We will be talking about it very soon. Want to talk about a quick game you can beat in a couple of hours? That's one of them. It's available on basically everything. We'll update you when we have a clearer idea of when we're actually going to talk about it, but it will be soon. We are playing Portal for August. And as always, you can keep up with the show, including our New Game Book Club, Comment Corner, everything over on social media at Controller Club Pod on Instagram and Blue Sky, at controller_club on Twitter, and at controller.club on TikTok. Also, if you are listening, we have a video version. We are over on YouTube now, so excuse me, you can head on over there and watch our beautiful faces while listening to our wonderful voices. Subscribe, ring the bell, thumbs up, leave us a comment. It really helps out. And as always, rate and review us wherever you are listening on podcast services around the globe. Tom, while I clear my throat, where can people keep up with you, and what do you have going on in your life?
Yeah, you can find me at Tom Gerard, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, basically everywhere on the internet. Not got much in the works other than a video on the Control Club YouTube channel that should be coming out soon. I don't want to say when it's going to come out, but it's almost done. It's basically just to fill in if there's a lull in the next couple of weeks, because we mentioned on the show before we're going to PAX West in a couple of weeks here, so who knows what the content's going to look like. So that video will be coming out probably around that time. But it's about different video game items and which one's good, which one's bad, which one's the best. So tune in for that. It'll be a lot of fun.
Battletoad items, where they end up ranking on there?
We didn't talk about the Battletoads
Oh,
items.
Tom!
Maybe next time we talk about their items.
Lauren, where can people keep up with you, and what do you have happening in your life?
Yeah, I do actually have some things I've been doing, so I will talk about them. But you can find me at lrouse19 on the socials. I finally gotten through the Comic-Con backlog, so I've got my interview with the Avatar: The Last Airbender stars from Comic-Con. That's up on the Direct, and the video is up on Direct's YouTube. I also wrote a ranking of all of the movies that I got to see, or the previews from the movies that I got to see on Pelaplat. So I've ranked them. You might be surprised as to what the top 3 are. So you can go look at that on Pelaplat. And the other thing is, I'm just like really like, none of this is video game related, but I'm really into Alien Earth right now. Highly, highly recommend this show to people. It like takes up all my brain space when I'm not playing Tiny Bookshop. So I've written a few articles about that on the Direct as well. So you can go check it out if you have questions about the show.
Surprising amount of Ice Age, the like animated movie in that TV series.
It's canon.
Yeah, it's like that was a moment for sure. But yeah, Alien Earth absolutely rocks. You can keep up with me everywhere. I'm at the Kleinfelt, TheKleinFelt. That's gonna wrap up this episode of Controller Club. As always, thank you so much for listening. Now let's get gaming.